Mr. Seravalli, what do we got?
So we've got a deal developing between the Buffalo Sabres and Ottawa Senators. I can confirm that Dylan Cozens is being traded from Buffalo to Ottawa. Cozens was number 27 on our trade targets board this morning. Kevin Weeks has reported that the package coming back includes Josh Norris and Jacob Bernard-Docker. So interesting swap. Two guys both signed long-term. You've got Cozens at $7.1 million for 5 more seasons. You've got Josh Norris at a few more seasons at $7.9 million. And it's interesting because, you look at what Dylan Cozens did at the beginning of his career as a 21-year-old, 31 goals and 68 points. Josh Norris has that same high-end potential, but he's had significant shoulder injuries. So certainly some risk on the Buffalo Sabres end. They're looking for top-end players, and they get one who has that potential in Norris, but also might be selling at the lowest value of Dylan Cozens, just 11 goals and 20 assists for 31 points this year. Obviously on track for about half of what he did as a 21-year-old. So lot to sift through. I still think there might be another piece part of this deal, but that's an interesting one to chew on for a while to start off the day.
Yeah, that is not a bad one. Last year, our first deadline deal was Evgeny Kuznetsov to the Canes. I think this one has that beat. Dylan Cozens to the Ottawa Senators, Josh Norris and Jacob Bernard-Docker going the other way. Frank, we'll let you continue to work out the details of that one and send you back to the Insider Cam. Let's go back to Laz and Nate quickly, since I kind of had a chair, since I kind of cut them off. I'll make it up to you boys and give you the first word on this one. Nate, what do you make of Dylan Cozens going north to Ottawa, the workhorse from Whitehorse?
I love this. I'm a huge fan of Dylan Cozens. I think it adds even more bite to the Ottawa Senators. I mean, Dylan Cozens is a guy I see as a possible guy that could be kind of a Selke type player, in the way he plays a 200-foot game. He has offensive flair, obviously. I think this is a great move for Ottawa.
Last.
I actually don't like it for Ottawa. I got to be honest. Just being friendly with Shane Pinto, I know how much Josh Norris is loved in their locker room. And obviously this is the first time in the past few years where Ottawa has actually been in that playoff picture. And, from what I've seen and what I've heard, when you take away chemistry like that at this point of the year, like who knows what those guys' relationships will be like with Dylan Cozens. And, obviously Norris has had his injuries, like you both mentioned, like Frank mentioned about the shoulders and stuff. And I think there's only been like 200 or so games where they've had like Norris and Pinto actually in the lineup at the same time. And then you add Bernard-Docker in too, who was a great defenseman in college, who hasn't necessarily stepped into the NHL and made a big name for himself yet, but has that high ceiling. I think it is a riskier move for Ottawa than it is for Buffalo. But for the Senators, I think to mess with the chemistry right now with them actually being in the playoff picture, I don't know. It's iffy. But obviously, to Nate's point, they're getting a really strong player in Dylan Cozens in return.
What's up, hockey fans? If you like that video, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Daily Faceoff YouTube, because we have tons of great content, from exclusive interviews on The Sheet with Jeff Merrick to instant analysis and breaking news with our Daily Faceoff insider, Frank Seravalli, on Daily Faceoff Live, to your go-to morning duo, Jonny Lazerus and Colby Cohn, on Morning Cup of Hockey. Plenty of great content, wall-to-wall, team-to-team, all the way across the entire league. You won't miss it if you subscribe.